welcome back to another episode of Film Buff Bros. And in this episode, we're going to talk about our favorite prequels. All right, so mine is Godfather Part 2. I think it might be the only film that is both a prequel and a sequel. It's pretty cool to see De Niro do a younger version of a Brando character. I really like the themes pertaining to troublesome family dynamics within the immediate family of a mafia don. Like, it's not, like families beefing with each other, the typical kind of mafia gangster films. It's more about the husband and wife relationship and brother relationship. I like how Pacino's character evolves a lot from the first movie. He doesn't really want to have anything to do with the family in the first movie. And then by the end, they start to trickle in that, he is embracing the role of the Don. But in part 2, he's like, just kill everyone, fucking, we got to wipe them out, and just fully embraces that role to the extreme. And it's a must-see movie, even if you're not into gangster films, because like I said, it's about family dynamics as well. And I think I like more so the prequel part of the movie than I do the sequel. Seeing De Niro, seeing how Vito Corleone's character develop. De Niro did a really good performance. He's speaking Italian in it, so yeah.
Yeah. He's the king of subtle too. If anyone could do Brando and do whatever that role is supposed to be, an imaginary interpretation of he pulled it off crazy, like you said, with the speaking fluent Italian and just really underplaying the role and maybe it was written really well too. I mean, I think it's a great script for a sequel too. The scene in part 2 where she tells him that she aborted his kid, what a scene. Pacino is outstanding. To have those two in the same movie together, yeah, man, I can see why you picked that one. I went with Psycho 4, and I've already talked about Psycho 2 with the underrated movies we did right in the beginning when we started doing the show. Psycho 4 is interesting. It's directed by Mick Garris. He's done a bunch of horror films. And the writer is the original writer who did the original Psycho screenplay. So that was a different thing that they did for this part 4. It's about it's hard. This movie's it's 2 parts. He's present day on the radio show talking to this radio show host and calling in and basically they're talking about matricide, which is someone I guess that kills their mother. And she starts to realize, this is Norman Bates on the phone, and he's fighting his urges. He's still I want to kill my wife, who I think she's a psychologist or something. And then it goes back to these great flashbacks. And remember Olivia Hussey from Black Christmas? Yeah, she's fantastic in it. And also Henry Thomas. I forget what else he's been in. A bunch of 80s movies and 90s movies. He plays Norman, nails that. It's just really sick and twisted, the relationship between the mom and the son. So we're talking about family movies here. This is it's a real twisted interpretation, and the ending is it's sort of a twist, but I didn't see it coming. Some people might see it coming, but it's just the whole movie is just got this really uneasy feeling with this kid who eventually kills his mom, obviously. And kills the boyfriend as well, and takes on this new personality, and then to see that balanced with it's sort of like the one you're talking. It's balancing from the past to the present. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's a cool idea for a prequel type movie. I was gonna say The Thing was pretty good. There's some other ones like Star Wars and stuff, but the ones we're talking about are I think the strongest prequel movies out there.
Yeah, yours is also a sequel prequel.
Yeah, which is weird that we both picked that. But it is an original sort of format to do a prequel. Mm-hmm. I appreciated it, and I think that the last thing I'll just say is that Anthony Perkins, he's so perfect for Norman because he seems to be a really bad actor. I don't know how this guy got work. Every time I see him in a movie, he's so over the top, and he does that so much with this character, but it works because Norman's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Norman's
exactly.
Nuts.
Yeah.
So it's just every time I'm like, oh man, is he really that bad of an actor? I'm like, no, that's Norman being crazy. Like that, he's a really good actor.
It's kind of like Patrick Bateman playing Christian Bale playing the sociopath. You know, they're so like self-aware, and it's like a little over the top. And apparently, like his fellow actors on American Psycho kind of thought that he wasn't doing the role right.
Wow,
But like,
that
you
makes
know,
sense. That makes sense.
It's like, but often, you know, psychotic people, you know, in politics and in Hollywood, they're actually really good at subduing that. But I think it's those or psychopaths. And I remember Christian Bale talked about that one time in an interview. I can't remember who the interview was with, but he says the arc of Patrick Bateman is going from a psychopath to psychotic. And I think that Norman Bates is kind of the same way in that like he's on the edge of like, you know, losing it, right? So it's like that's when like the true colors start to show of a sociopath, is when they're on the brink of, you know, collapsing in on themselves.
And I love watching characters that are boiling, like the whole movie that's just boiling and boiling, and you just see it's gonna explode. Like I love movies like that. So
It brings tension for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anyway, that's our episode of Film Buff Bros for this week. Tune in next week for another episode, and click down below to subscribe and hit that notification button so you can be notified of all our upcoming videos. And leave a comment below and tell us some of your movie recommendations. Bye.